Today's horror manga dub in narration is The Bridge by Junji Ito. Today I'd like to give a special thanks to 242 Reads for agreeing to collaborate with the video. You should totally check out her stuff, links in the description below. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into the manga.
Grandma, who lives alone the countryside, called me. She sounded like she was afraid of something. It doesn't matter who it is, just come and accompany me,
she said as she traveled up the mountain pass, the wheels of the vehicle struggling to keep up with the rugged terrain as she traveled through an ominous woods. Pulling up to a clearing, she parked her car, exited out, and continued down the path as a nearby bridge loomed below.
This place is always so deserted.
As she approaches the bridge, she notices an individual in a kimono.
At this time, who could it be? Could it be a friend of Grandma's?
Walking slowly across, our protagonist decides to approach them and calls out to them.
Hello? Excuse me, are you my grandmother's friend? Just as I thought. Other than the house that my grandmother lives in, there's no one else living around this area. Are you here to visit my grandma? It's cold staying out here. Please, have a seat inside. Ever since my grandpa passed away last year, my grandma has been living alone in this place, making us worried. Please, come by and visit her often. Please have a seat in the house.
The man lifts his head, and what she sees is a ghastly sight. His face is falling apart from the inside out, his rotten, decaying flesh oozing down toward the ground, holes everywhere in his body, and his teeth decaying, about to fall out from their sockets. This shocking sight causes her to shriek from the top of her lungs.
Grandma, open the door! It's me, Kanekone, Grandma!
She screams as the man slowly approaches from behind.
Grandma!
Ah, Kaneko, you're here. I'm opening the door now.
Quick!
Following through with the momentum of her grandmother opening the door, Kaneko rapidly swings the door open and makes her way inside, yelling. She asks her grandma who the man outside is. That person, he's Kengoro. He's my uncle. He passed away a long time ago, when I was still just a child. He'll appear every night on that bridge. Ever since your grandpa passed away, leaving me all alone in this house, those things have been appearing.
So that's a ghost.
They are always waiting for the time when I'm alone. A nearby voice calls out in the distance. Osada. Osada. The ghosts are calling out to me.
But there are so many voices.
Many people have died in this village in the past, and they did not rest in peace. Osada. Osada. That's because they want to drag me down the river. Look, they're all waving at me. Osada.
But why are they calling out to you, Grandma?
That's because they want to drag me down the river. Look, they're all waving at me. Kaneko peers out the window to see a myriad of people standing out there on the bridge, each of them calling out to her grandmother. Osada. their flesh all rotten and decrepit as they continue to chant. Each and every one of their pus-expelling eyes staring into the house, ready to take her grandmother at once.
Grandma, there are so many of them.
Seriously, I can't sleep with them calling out to me the entire night. Kanako, you must be unable to sleep as well. So, Grandma will tell you about things when I was a kid. Sit down and listen well. This is the first time I'm telling you about this. I grew up in this house, and I have always been living here. Although the people here passed away, one by one, this village used to be very lively. During those times, this village had a really weird custom, and that weird custom was the way funeral ceremonies were conducted. The oldest funeral I could remember is King Goro's one. To send off the dead, everyone in the village would gather at the sides of the river. My mother and I were looking from the bridge. Hey, King Goro is coming. Osada, Uncle is coming. Remember to take a good look. Her mother chanted as a body traveled through the river, traveling at a tremendous speed, carried by the current of the river, by the spectators and toward the bridge. Osada stared at the dead body of her deceased uncle. His eyes closed with a peaceful look on his face, until something happens. The platform is taken to the side by the current, crashing into the stone wall, and her uncle's body falling overboard and into the water. It hit the bridge. King Goro has really bad luck. Uncle has dropped into the river. Poor thing. Mom, what's going to happen to Uncle Kingoro? The river is deep, and its width is wide, so he'll be unable to continue flowing with the water, and will sink into the river. This means he will not be able to rest in peace. Oh, the poor thing. If his body is still properly laid on the straw mat after hitting the bridge, he will then be able to go to the other world. But the straw mat is the only one left flowing. But Mom, why couldn't we just tie him to the straw mat? Unfortunately, dear, this is the practice of the custom, she said, as Uncle Kingoro's body sank to the bottom of the river. Shokichi, he was a young man from the village in the past, and he died at the age of 20. Shokichi was the last one to have such a funeral, of having the dead bodies flow with the river. I was only 15 years old at the time. Shokichi was the tallest man in our village, with a height of almost 8 feet. He may have had a big build, but his heart was kind and as soft as cotton. He was my first love, and my fiancé as well. But he was crushed to death by a falling tree in the mountains. He needed 2 straw mats during his funeral ceremony. I was crying badly and was not in the mood to look, but the villagers said this is really something worth looking at. Look, Osada is crying. That's of course. It's flowing from here now. He flowed down the river and around the bend, making his way closer and closer toward the bridge. I couldn't help but cry then, but one of the villagers called out, "Oh no, it's going to hit!" And just like that, his platform crashed into the wall, and everyone screamed in terror. The body crashed into the walls of the bridge, being ravaged by the flowing water. Look, because Shokichi's body is too big, and his body is already solidified, He's stuck now. I looked down, trying to hold in my tears, as his wide open eyes just stared into my soul. Hey, young lad, think of a method to let him pass. Otherwise, it'll be too pitiful for Shokichi. Can you reach him? No problem. They muttered as they used a nearby stick to push his feet, rotating his body just enough until it flowed under the bridge and plummeted down to the bottom of the river. It was really unfortunate for Shokichi. I was certain that Shokichi had opened his eyes, and it seemed like he was looking at me into my soul.
Looking at Grandma?
Yes, thinking about it now, could it be that he had something to tell me? Then a voice from the outside continued to chant, "Oh, Sada." Yes, that's a gaze that said, "Come and join me quick." Those who had sunk into the river are all waiting for me. The voices continued to call from the outside. And that's the reason why the ghosts are calling out my name every night. Oh, how scary. Listen, they are at it again. Oh, Sada. Oh, Sada. Oh, Sada. The voices continue unrelentingly as a tall, familiar ghost attempts to walk underneath the bridge, looking back at the house, beckoning for Osada to join him. "Kanako, it must be because I'm dying soon. I don't have much time left, and my body will sink into that deep river."
What are you talking about, Grandma? It's all because you're staying here alone. We will leave this place together.
"It's too late now. I'm going to die."
Grandma, be strong.
"Kanako, you have to bury me in the ground after I die. Don't leave me to flow freely in that river, no matter what. I don't want to sink into that river." "Kanako, I'll leave it to you."
Grandma, what's wrong? Hey, Grandma, Grandma. So, it was a dream? This place is... Oh yes, I got sleepy while on the way to Grandma's house, so I took a short nap. What a weird dream. And it's already 4. I have to hurry or else it'll be dark before I reach Grandma's house.
In almost a deja vu-like way, she repeats the same actions from her dream, traveling up the mountain pass, through the forest, and exiting her car at the clearing. She travels to the path that lead down to the bridge.
This sucks. It's exactly like the dream.
And there he is waiting, the same man from the dream. A cold sweat drips down her brow.
No way.
She approaches the man. She quickly passes him,
Hello.
trying not to make eye contact until he calls out to her from behind. "Osada, she passed away just a while ago."
What? What are you talking about? Who was that person? Grandma, where are you, Grandma? Seems like she was sleeping here before. Huh? Straw mats. Just where is Grandma? Huh?
The otherworldly group on the bridge begin to chant in unison. "Hey, Osada is coming. Osada." As Kanako rushes toward the river and sees a body on a straw mat coming from around the bend and down the river toward the bridge. And so it is true. It is Osada herself, her body gracefully placed on the mat, until her eyes open. She looks over at Kaneko. Kaneko stumbles into the water as she sees that her grandmother has fallen off the straw mat, sinking deeper and deeper into the water as Kaneko can merely but watch in shock.
I think I saw Grandma looking at me a while ago.
She looked back over to the bridge to see that none of the apparitions are there no more.
Huh?
And then she looked back into the water. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please don't forget to comment and tell me that you like this format so I know to keep making these type of videos. And don't forget to like and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching everyone, and remember, you're important and you matter. Have a great night everyone. Goodbye.